Today is September 28th. The Yankees have a turtle. Breaking news, Yankees have a pet turtle. His name is Bronxie. We'll be talking about that, doing some postseason roster configuration, and we have sharp stats. Let's do it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, JOMBOY Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOy, JOMBOy Jake. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOy, JOMBOy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, little midweek episode before the three-game set against Toronto. Brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy. I got Jake sitting next to me, producer BBD in the corner. And in breaking news, we find out that the Yankees have a pet turtle named Bronxie. Jake, would you die for Bronxie?
James, BBD, everyone live in the chat. We do have a breaking news button. I know BBD's lost in it right now, but it's been a minute. I think
Awesome.
Yep. Jimmy, I mean, some people are in pure shock because we forget not everyone lives their life through the Yankees on the internet. So a lot of people have no idea. The Yankees announced today Nestor Cortez Jr., and that's obvious, has brought a turtle into the Yankees locker room. We're gathering all the information we can right now. There is an ESPN article, so this is legit. It is tied to the start of the Yankees' most recent win streak. Sure, Ty Young comes back tonight, but Bronxie's here. And there's just so many good things to this. Like you said, Gardy being supportive of this is huge, as he's the senior leader of the team. My favorite quote so far is that DJ is often caught staring at the turtle, and that's obvious. So, we're getting all the information as it comes in, but this kind of changes the entire outlook of the Yankees season. So
It does. It's huge. They're playing for something bigger than themselves now. They're doing it for Bronxie. So shout out to Sam Borden, ESPN writer.
Yeah.
He spent the weekend with the team, traveling with them, and found out about this.
Yeah.
And,
Traveled with the team to Boston.
The turtle did.
Bronxie the Turtle.
Yes.
The chat's all over right now. Chat's running hot, obviously, because there's Bronxie the Turtle news. There's merch on the way. We have our best people working on it right now. I think we're hoping to land with a cartoon version of Bronxie and ideally a real version of Bronxie. So hopefully there's sure options. We're all hands on deck for this one. You have to be.
Yes.
This is the season. This is now.
I mean, Brett Gardner's quoted. He says, "There is a lot of love. Everyone is very aware of what's happening lately." They brought Bronxie to Boston. It was his first time being on the road.
Yeah.
Brett Gardner said, "Lucky charm, whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of guys believe there's a connection here. At the end of it, it would be great if we could go out and get a little World Series ring." Get him a little World Series ring. So it's a boy. Bronxie's a boy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if this season ends how we thought, with a ring on a turtle, then we've made it. We've absolutely made it. So that is the biggest news this morning. And I think Luke Voigt had the quote, was it earlier this year, that he wanted teams to fear the Yankees, or teams don't fear the Yankees right now. This Bronxie news changes that. The Yanks have something on their side. Great question by Brian M. in the chat. Is Bronxie allowed to pass through customs in Canada? I haven't traveled with a turtle. Ever.
Me neither. Yeah. A Bronxie tail? Wow, that's great.
Whoa. I mean, John Sterling. Watch out.
Oh, Are you running Sterling calls tonight? Because John's going to have some awesome thoughts on Bronxie the Turtle.
Yeah, we're gonna need to be. I'm gonna need to lock in.
When you spend 83 years on this planet, you have a lot of turtle encounters, and you can hear about them all tonight on WFA.
Dude, I just know that Bronxie's a good turtle, too.
Yes.
Like, Bronxie's not a punk. He's not fucking things up in the clubhouse.
They're letting him just walk
They
around.
let him
loose.
walk around.
There's a level of trust.
The tower's got to be careful not to step on him.
Who's the most freaked out? Who hated this from day one and is now suffering through it?
Kluber.
No, guy is a turtle. Next.
DJ's in on Bronxie.
Yeah.
Kluber's staring right next to
Yeah,
him.
you're right.
Yeah.
DJ and Kluber kind of like
They're
things that
connected.
don't talk.
They're connected. To
Like,
it.
you don't speak
Yeah.
English, let's hang out for a while.
Turtle
let's-
doesn't speak any languages, as we know.
Nevin doesn't like the turtle. He doesn't get it.
Interesting.
He's a fucking turtle, guys.
Nevin going into the Boston series, he said, "You boys don't win, we're having turtle soup."
Ooh.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of all in.
Yes.
Who doesn't get it?
I've got Gallo as hesitant at first.
Ooh, a little
Okay.
fear.
Yeah.
A little fear. Gallows Googled, like, do you get sick from touching turtles?
Has Gallo had the worst last 6 days, too? Is that like maybe, Gallo's like, hey. Like, Gallo has a private conversation with Bronxie and, like, where's my good luck, dude? Like,
The first time Bronxie was walking around, Gallo moved to the other side.
if
of the
we
room.
don't get a clubby holding Bronxie up,
Yeah.
and as the Yankees walk onto the field, they all touch Bronxie,
Yeah.
like Notre Dame touching the signs,
Yeah.
then what are we doing?
What's it been about? But, I also, if they keep that behind closed doors, I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't need a
Yeah.
video of it. I just
Yeah.
need it to happen.
No, it's happening. Let's just
Okay.
believe that in our hearts.
Do we need to literally see Bronxie? I think no, right?
Well, we've seen
Get
the
the-
picture of it.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be seen in the dugout.
Yes, Network needs to be careful here.
And can we Photoshop some pictures of Wandy's head on Bronxie?
Do a face swap.
Gonna need that.
Wandy loves the turtle.
Yeah.
Wandy is treating the turtle like his adorable little niece.
Takes one to know one.
Like he's...
Yeah. He brings him treats every day.
If someone messes with the turtle, Wandy might stab him.
Yeah, like when people walk close to the turtle, Wandy gets up
Oh,
and is, hey,
Yeah.
Bronxie.
Roxy. Yeah. Man.
Are they still playing the game tonight? Or did they move it?
I think they're still playing it.
Did you hear the news before Bronxie? Toronto's opening up the doors.
Isn't that old news?
They're going from 15 to 30K.
They announced
They
that.
announced that a little bit
a while ago.
This is just the first day of it.
First day of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that when they announced it, like 2 weeks ago.
Big podcast today.
Yeah. A lot
Didn't
of...
say it on Talkin' Yanks.
Because I think they're going to do it even more for the postseason.
Yep.
Yeah. Be interested to see how if they fill it. Like, that's they were very nervous or hesitant or more like regulations in Toronto than anywhere else, and like New York took forever to fill Yankee Stadium even when they opened it.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if it gets filled or not, because they opened Yankee Stadium. It didn't get filled for 2 more months.
Yeah, it's going to be at 30K. I mean, it's potentially the end of the Blue Jays season. Huge series, Yankees. Toronto fans have always been rabid. The problem with the Yankees was they sucked back then. And
Well,
they
did
have
you
a
see
smart- they have
Seattle
a
last
smart
night?
Fan base.
There's no one there. They were they're 2 games out. They're home. And it was against the A's. And there was no one there. So I'm
They listen to
interested.
Talking Baseball. They go by your words.
Big in Seattle.
It's true.
Bronxie the Turtle. It's funny that that's the only picture they have of it.
And it's in action.
Now, do you feel
I
a little
think he
bad?
snuck that.
Because we haven't seen this on any of the guys' Instagrams or stories. They haven't mentioned it. Is this secrets out? Obviously, they did interviews, so they knew it was coming out. But you got to think that this was a little secret for the Yankees. Otherwise, maybe there's Insta stories, there's posts.
Here's what I'll say. I mean, it's going to be the World Series, and you're going to see our turtle shirts throughout the stadium, and that's going to be beautiful, and the pitchers are going to be wearing a pregame and stuff like that. So, no, I mean, it's just a... Dude, the Yankees win the World Series, and then we find out about Bronxie the Turtle. I think part of us is devastated.
I agree with that.
So, this had to come out. I think it's the perfect time for it.
It is. I think it was. They won 6 in a row, and the whole locker room was
It's
like,
official.
we got to tell people.
Like, Nestor walked in with the turtle before the Texas series, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
this is the new normal, and we're fine with it.
Apparently, there was a crew that all wanted a pet turtle. Like, that's what the article says. Who do you think was in that crew?
The crew that wanted a pet turtle. Obviously, Nestor.
So it says that
Monty supported it.
Nestor led a group of players who were interested in becoming animal owners in a different way. Specifically, they wanted a turtle.
Yeah, I mean, the most obvious one is Gio Urshela.
Yes.
Urshel.
Wow.
And Gio kind of gives off turtley vibes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yes.
I similarly have Guardy in that group.
When Guard Dog
He
got a
also
little
has
wind.
the quotes about it, so that may be influencing.
When
it.
Guard Dog got a little wind, I think so. Definitely Wade. When you're the bench guy and the speed guy, you get involved in everything you can. And for him, there's some irony with the turtle. He is the hair.
I just
literally and figuratively.
I just pictured the turtle on top of Dono's head. Like a picture of like the turtle just hanging out on top of Dono's head. And he's smiling.
The fact we haven't said Rugi's name by this point is rude. He's obviously been... He funded the turtle.
Or he feels
funded the
very
turtle.
threatened by it.
Right.
Ooh.
It's like, I'm the mascot.
Oh,
I've
but
kind of been our turtle.
if
all
we
year.
see the turtle, there's going to be one person holding it. It's Rugi. They're co-stars.
He might... Let's
It
not
may
ruin
come out.
it. I hope he doesn't, run it out.
No.
Maybe he was late to jump on the field for Stan's home run or
he
Judge's
was feeding
because
it.
he was hanging out with the turtle.
Yeah.
They definitely, DJ just loves watching it eat strawberries. Because if you ever
Yeah.
seen a turtle eat strawberry, it's awesome.
The only player it talks to is Higgy. That's when no one else is there.
Yeah.
Higgy says, Bronxie's pretty funny. I say, okay, Hig.
Dude, the turtle on Dono's head.
Yeah,
Let's draw that. Just for our fun.
we can do that. We'll get you that.
It's hard for me to think of anything else right now.
Yeah. That's
Almost
true.
any animal on Dono. He probably has pictures on his Instagram of him with turtles.
You think so? Great Instagram.
It's been a minute for me. I'll get over there now.
All right. Well, that was Turtle Talk, and it was brought to you
Yeah.
by Manscaped. Don't need a Manscaped turtle. But if you want to look good for Bronxie, you need to Manscape yourself. You definitely do. Take those balls of yours and turn them into turtle shells. Autumn is in the air. Pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. If you know what we're saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code YANKS. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code YANKS at manscaped.com. It's 20% off plus free shipping with code YANKS at manscaped.com. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Bronxie will thank you. He's seen a lot in that locker room.
Yeah.
Bronxie knows who needs to clean it up and who doesn't. He understands.
He's got a good angle at everyone's testicles.
One more thing on Bronxie. I saw that. What's Steve Donahue's Instagram? I saw that some people put turtle emojis in the chat.
Yeah.
Live streams, Talking Yanks live streams will open with turtle emojis. And I think if a home run or something big happens, that's the new celebratory emoji that gets sent in the live streams. I just want turtles all the way down.
He just wants turtles.
Yeah. On August 31st, Jake,
Yeah.
we tried. The Yankees were, what, 6 games up on August 31st?
In the wild card?
I think they were, like, firmly in the number 1 spot in the wild card, so we felt comfortable trying to talk about playoffs.
Right.
And we thought it was going to be a regular thing, like every 2 weeks. Let's check in. The Yankees, they were 2 games up in the first spot on August 31st. So they're in the first spot again. It's just as close, right? They're not locked in, but right now they're a game up, first spot in the wild card. So we have what we thought would be the wild card roster prediction, and then our ALDS prediction from August 31st. There's a lot of guys we put in the question mark because we didn't know if they were going to return, if they were going to be around or not. I have what we did here, and let's go over it and see where we land now. Sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I remember when we did this, which is huge for me. A lot of turtles in the chat right now. And, yeah, I know the big questions were kind of around injuries and the return. And knock on wood, a lot of those have been going fairly smoothly. So, and Greg Allen's on the list, and he's never been a Yankee this year.
And
So
so
that's
there's
insane.
people we thought would return and be on the list and not there. So let's go through DJ, Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Voit, Gary, Glaber, Gio. They're all going to be there. The only thing that we need to change here is
Voit to the bench.
Voit to the bench and Gardner to the lineup because they have shown that that is what they consider their A lineup.
And Gary to the bench.
For the wild card game, yes. And Higgy in. So that's not the right order, batting order, but that's the starting 9 hitters. Pitchers, it's going to be Cole.
Yeah, let's try to round off what we can with the bench to keep people informed. So Gary and Voit are there. Wade, you have to lock that in. Odor seems semi-locked at this point. To bail on him for the wild card game seems pretty drastic.
Yeah.
Although they have not really been using him.
Mm-hmm. Gary, Voit, Wade, Odor. Those are the 4.
And then you're going to have more bench because it's a 1-game wild card. So we'll get to that in a second. But Velasquez, with him being on the taxi squad and that recent story, and
Can play
speed,
short.
defense. So we'll come back to them.
Pitchers. For the wild card, you're going to go Cole. He's starting it.
Yep.
And then, I mean, this is Monty or Nestor as the 2. And again, this is in case Cole gets sick. They're not planning on using them at all.
Right.
It's
Extra
really
innings.
Yeah.
Every wild card roster, they carry at least 2 like real starters.
2 starters, yeah. Let's do bullpen. Because you agree that, I mean, that could be Monty, Nestor, Tyone.
That could be literally
Kluber.
anyone.
It's just a second starting pitcher.
Yeah.
No idea who it is.
If we want to say it's Nestor, sure, because he does bullpen
Nestor
stuff,
is the one that gets interesting when we get to bullpen, especially now where I think we have more bullpen options than we thought.
Yep. All right. Chapman's in.
Yep.
Chad's in. Loizaga, I mean, is he a question right now? Because I got to return first.
I think you have to put him in. They're planning on him returning, I mean, essentially tomorrow.
He's expected to be back. If they hadn't announced he's gonna be back,
There would have to
tomorrow.
be an injury between now and then, and I don't think while we play this game we can anticipate that.
Okay.
if they didn't say he's coming back this series, I'd be willing to move him to questions for now. But
All right. Wandy, Holmes, Litke, Abreu just got dropped, so I don't think he's the lock.
Yeah.
I don't think Nestor's a lock. I think Nestor's either that second starter or not on the roster, with having now Severino and King to be multiple inning
And
guys.
I think I might like Nestor in that spot anyways, because he's a tradition. He can come out of the bullpen better than Monty, Kluber, Tyone, whoever
Okay.
it may be.
So
So
Nestor's
that seems like a fit.
All right, so how many people do we have? We have 9 hitters, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so 11 bullpen guys?
Well, we can add some bench too.
Yeah, all right, so
So I thought we were just getting the total number.
well, who else? I mean, Severino and King are going to be here, right?
Sevy's in. You'd assume King.
And then let's do Velasquez.
Let's do Velasquez. So what's that get us to? A little bit of a math pod.
Do you want to
Shout out.
paste that in the chat so the people can see?
Oh, yeah, that's how we did it last time, right?
Mm.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Here you go. Follow along with us.
Link in the chat. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we're at 25. Domingo Herman with 1 appearance can change a lot of emotion.
Someone said I'll take Nestor over King. They're both on it right now.
Currently both on it. Is there anyone else?
Let's do this. We had like Heel as a question mark. He's off. Ridings as a question mark. He's off. Heaney is off. I mean, they can't.
So I've got one that's kind of interesting and I think deserves a conversation. Does
Okay.
Rob Brantley get in the mix?
As a third catcher.
Because
just the
you're
wild card
you're
roster.
planning on subbing in Gary into this game.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, once Cole is out.
And honestly, where we're at right now, and this is just a conversation, I'm not saying stamp Brantley, but it seems like you could get through one game with this
Yeah.
pretty clearly. And let's say it's the 11th inning, Gary is on second with a huge double. You could pinch run Velasquez and have Brantley catch the last
So,
inning.
I mean, a third catcher is normal. I mean, Gary Sanchez was on the wild card roster in 2015, and he had only had 4 professional at-bats
Right.
just for that reason. And with
For a one-game roster.
one-game roster. And, yeah, and if you're starting Higgy,
Right.
you are planning on pinch hitting Gary as soon as, if it's a close game, as soon as Cole's out of the game.
Better be.
And then you don't have another catcher. So the fact that you're planning on starting your backup, I think, means that you're going to bring a third catcher. I would guess. So
So
is
how
that
many
it, then?
spots are we at now?
I think this is 26. So currently off would be Herman, which
Yeah.
again I think that could change.
We also
and again, this is just the wild card game.
Right.
yeah, doing this again for the real series, potentially.
Yeah, and I mean I wonder because okay, we love where Mike King is at right now. If Herman has 2 good outings between now and then, Herman's probably on a similar plane as Mike King.
Mm-hmm.
That you wonder if there's like we're saying, this is for the wild card. If one of them pitches, do you pitch one of them 2 innings Sunday, and the other one gets the nod for the wild card and he's out?
Yeah.
You know,
Feels like an option. The only other position player we haven't listed as a question is Florial,
yeah.
who's available as a pinch running option, able to play center field.
Yeah.
Should get a mention in this conversation for the wild card roster.
If you have Wade and Velasquez,
Yeah.
I don't think you need
Having both with Florial feels like overkill.
I think we're good on the wild card because any decision that we're going to tinker over is like,
You get it.
Right. It's
is
Herman
like a
King.
16-inning game.
Abreu really seems to have fallen. If Greg Allen comes back, like just fuck me.
Yeah. All right, let's now get to a scary place. If they win the wild card game,
Sure.
what's the ALDS look like? Because this is going to be much different.
Man, Luis Hill without a shout out during the wild card prediction.
I said he's off. He was.
Oh yeah, we talked about it because we had him as a
I
question.
had him on. I said
Right.
he's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick delete.
Is the
Sure.
There's a division
Sure
series
is.
roster brought
Division
to us.
series, potential division series roster as we're 6 games away, or 7. They have to win the 7th game, the wild card game, if they get into that. Is brought to you by DraftKings. You place any bets while we were in Jersey today?
No, what you fucking motherfucker? No, man.
Sorry.
Thanks for the reminder.
I didn't know you forgot.
After. Tough, dog. Brutal.
Jake didn't place any bets while he was in
Brutal,
Jersey this
man.
morning. But you can if you live in New Jersey, Indiana, PA. Week 3 of football's in the books. Giants lost. Dude, can I tell you something? I love the Manning brothers.
Yeah, that's going to be us.
I love that. And Eli's so much better and more interesting than Peyton, which I think that's awesome. Yes,
And
that's
people would have
awesome.
had them on even footing.
Well, I
Bronxie
think
shirt or
Peyton
logo.
gets credit for being the funny one, but I
Eli's
thought
really
Eli's just so much more natural. Where Peyton was like doing,
Eli's being Eli Manning.
yeah,
I think that's all he's ever known.
it's hilarious when Eli was.
Peyton has the on.
LeBron
switch.
was there, and Eli had no interest in talking to LeBron, and he was just trying to talk about the strategy of the game.
Yeah.
And LeBron was like, "I agree," and I was like, Eli doesn't care about if you agree or not. LeBron just over the interview with you. Anyway, week 3 of football's in the books now. It's time to review the tape and get ready for week 4 with DraftKings Sportsbook. To kick off another action-packed week, DraftKings is giving new customers $150 instantly when they bet $1 on any football game. So you bet $1, get that $150. You do all of Jake's bets. You just ride Jake, and how much would they be up to now? $600?
God, crazy money, and it should be more. So I was in New Jersey. I didn't place any bets.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY to receive $150 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any football game. That's promo code JOMBOY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. 1 per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana. 1-800-9-WITH-IT. All right, DS roster. If we get to it. I mean, let's save pitchers because that's the biggest discussion. It's going to be, the bench is going to be Higgy, Gardner, Wade, Odor, and I think that's it. They don't use big benches.
Voit.
Well, I have Gardner and Voit just switched here. So Voit will go to the bench and Gardner will go starting, and it's a 4-man bench. They don't typically carry big benches in a 5-game series. And you're covered there. Wade's got infield and outfield. Odor's got infield. Voigt's got first and a righty bat.
It's the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to discuss there. Unless, like, Velasquez has a moment. Do you have him over Odor? I think that's a pretty serious conversation.
There's an element of, like, what situation would you choose to plug Odor in besides an injury?
Well, if you just want 3 people that can play shortstop.
Yeah.
Not for Odor.
No.
To take Odor out.
Yeah,
That's what-
BBD's asking a
No,
great
I'm
question.
asking-
When would Odor come in?
What's the spot that Odor
Who does he
second
pinch hit
baseman.
for?
Second baseman gets hurt.
Yeah,
But
besides
that's
an injury.
I mean, Velasquez can do
Wade,
that.
yeah.
Wade can do that.
If his biggest quality is being on the bench, then you can just have him be in the dugout
Yeah.
and not on the
Right.
field.
He
They're
kind of
allowed
does
there
that
anyway.
anyways.
Well, that's a wild question. I mean, they're riding him out because of money reasons.
Right,
Yeah,
but I think for
that
the
doesn't
playoff
matter.
roster, that wouldn't matter. So
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
Velasquez could jump Odor.
Seems more valuable.
It's just the lefty bat. I mean, basically the only chance that Rougned Odor would have to come into not like a crazy baseball game is he would be pinch hitting for Higgy against a tough righty.
And then Gary comes in.
Yes. And even then,
I'd still take my chances on just straight subbing Gary.
just
and
hoping
having
Gary
having
runs
the
into
extra
one.
body.
So
So, all right, well, they'll be playing the Rays. So they're going to want a balance. They're going to want left and right options. But, I mean, Velasquez and Wade are lefty, but you're not going to use for their bat. Odor, yeah.
yeah,
That's I mean, I don't
It's
know.
a question.
I wouldn't be upset either way either.
Right.
Like, whatever they decide there, I'd be like, whatever. I'm not going to. I think I'd go Velasquez.
I'd lean his
Unless there's-
speed and defense over Rugi's hope for pop.
Yeah.
At least if you have Wade and Velasquez, you like don't have to hesitate to do a pinch run play later because you have another guy who can go play any position.
All right, so that's
It's not burning. If
okay.
you burn them, you burn them.
that's 13 offensive guys. Now we need 13 pitchers. Bullpen first because that's a little easier. Chapman, Chad, Laza, Wandy, Holmes, Litke are locks. Nestor's like in this crew now. Heel is out. Heaney and Riding's out.
Severino in.
Sevy is in. Yep.
Lock.
Abreu
Abreu,
out.
how
And
many
we
do we
need
have
nine relievers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.5 with the starters right
King's in. We don't have Joely in right now, but I don't think you have Joely in. If you have,
now. Is that 13 pitchers?
well, no, the starters aren't. There's too many starters. I'm just doing the 9 relievers.
Right. I mean, but it kind of leads into that conversation because of Nestor. And they're just plan to deploy him. Herman, man, again, like I think Herman can change these conversations really quick.
All right, so starting pitcher. Cole is your number 1, even though he's not going to pitch until the 3rd game.
Yeah, he's firmly on the roster.
Yeesh.
I think Monty is the firm number 2.
Monty's on.
Yeah, he's firmly on the roster. I have no idea what order they're going to do stuff in, but he's firmly on the roster.
Nestor's firmly on the roster.
On the roster.
Tyone. We have
I mean,
to see tonight.
We'll see in a couple hours. You'd have to assume Jameson Tyone is on the roster.
As we're doing this exercise right now, you have to.
Kluber and Herman.
I mean, between Kluber,
12.
Herman, Nestor, King.
I'll tell you this, Kluber's on the roster because otherwise, I mean, they paid him $11 million, and that would be wild.
Yeah,
Pay him
and
$11 million, and he's healthy right now.
if I had to guess, the way that I think they deploy Nestor would be in kind of a follower role / whenever they need him. So if Kleber has his good stuff and he can give you 6 innings, 1 earned run, you take it. If he's struggling to get through 3.2, that's when you hit the Nestor button.
Is that your guess or what you would do?
A little of both.
I hope they don't do that. I have Nestor as the 3rd starter. I have it as Cole, Monty, Nestor.
Just with what the other starters do, like Nestor's capable of being that, and I think the Yankees know that, and that would be them admitting Kluber was a mistake if they're just not using him.
Yeah, I'm hoping pride doesn't really get in the way, but
I would absolutely trust Nestor with a start, but I think the pairing with Kluber, like the back as the piggyback off Kluber, makes sense. That could very easily be what their plan is.
yeah. Nestor's just been better
Nestor's
as a
been
starter.
great. He's been better than Monty.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this also very much ties into your playoff theory that you're adamant about, that you need starting pitching to kick to the pen and help you out during the playoffs.
Yeah, but
and Nestor's the only one
Nestor's
of
the
those.
one that translates.
Oh, anyone can do it. I mean, Patrick Corbin did it, and Sale did it, and Price did it. I mean,
Yeah,
Kluber
Yeah,
can
that kind
do
of
it.
stuff.
When we talked with
those are guys at
When we
top
talk-
of their game.
when we talked with Eno Saris, he predicted that Kluber would be the bulk guy for the Yankees in the postseason.
He could. I know Nestor can do that role. I don't know if Kluber can. I don't know if Tyone can.
I'm so interested to see how they do it. I mean, if I was to do it, Nestor's getting a start. His last
so
11
good.
starts, he's got a 3.2 ERA. He has faced good offenses. He's faced the White Sox. He's faced the Twins. He's faced Oakland. He's faced Toronto. He's faced Boston. He's been good against those teams. We'll see how Kluber faces Toronto today. But Kluber has not been.
It's an important start for him.
Kluber hasn't been
This
great
conversation.
of late.
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow. Kluber hasn't
I think
been great
Cole's
of late.
tomorrow,
He's got a
Kluber-
5.7 ERA in his last
Kluber's
5
Thursday.
games.
Thursday.
Kluber hasn't been good against good offenses. If you go with Kluber, and
Quick hook.
if you go, it's a one-time through. I don't think they can even do unless he's mowing them down. You have
Right.
to be prepared to not let Kluber last right now.
Which we saw early in the season, and we saw recently, even his first start back, Kluber was lights out and then straight ran out of steam, which, if you know that's coming or whatever he's built up to now. Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy how much recency bias dictates us, but are we going to get two? We're only getting one more Kluber start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're hopefully getting 2 Tyone starts.
I think he'd be lined up for the last game of the season right now. Do I have that right?
So
If he's tonight.
I think that's going to dictate a lot of their role.
Yeah,
Tyone goes tonight, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, the last game of the
Sunday.
season. Which would then, that would be the third, so 4, 5, 6, 7 would be game 2.
He
He'd be
can-
ready for game 2.
it
if you
feels
wanted
like
him.
what they
Monty's got, if they
Back
win the
in
wild
the-
card, Monty's got game 1. I mean,
I think so.
Monty has a 3.49 on the season. He's in his last
Pitched well in the playoffs last year.
in his last 19 starts, he has a 3.1. I mean,
Been awesome.
he's having a great season.
Go Nestor game 1. Now we're talking.
I think the
The problem is someone's got to get left off this roster that you don't expect to get left off. Like Joely, they might still want on the DS, but I don't think he has a place. And
hard to
then
find a
you're either
spot.
leaving Herman or King. Herman King off? Wandy?
One of those-
Herman, King, Kluber, Tyone, I think, are all in a bucket, and
One of
3 of them
them-
come on the ship.
So I have no idea. How they do the starting pitching is interesting. I get it that Nestor's the easiest mentally. Be like, oh yeah, well he's we didn't expect this. We're not paying him a ton of money, and all the peripherals add up to kicking him to the bulk guy. But straight stats say he should
been
start.
so good.
Said he would start game 1 of the DS.
So if he starts game 1, Monty starts game 2.
Cole's back for game 3.
When would be... Is there any way you can short start Cole for game 2 so he'd be lined up for a potential game 5?
Game 2 would be the 8th, right? So no.
Yeah, it'd only be 2 days.
Is that his
right?
throw day? I don't know.
It'd be hard. It's just really hard for me to picture the Yankees
Let's
not
get there and
getting
do it again.
Kluber a start when he's done a lot of playoff starts and has the size in the bag and
You got to remember, they
has had
fucked up
good
last
runs
year.
this year.
They did the Hap Davy
too
thing.
cute.
Oh God,
They got
you
way
can't
too
do that.
cute, and people gave him so much shit that it was the first thing Cashman and Boone had to talk about at the end of your press conference 2 weeks later.
Well, that
So
was the execution of how they did it. They had Hap up after the first batter, right? Or during the first batter.
that was their plan.
Right. That was way too cute. The execution of it was poor. There was a Hap Davy plan to be had. It was giving one of them a true start, and when they got into trouble, you saved them with the other guy. That wasn't their plan.
No.
They tried to do
Yank
a
'em with the first
raise.
sign.
Yeah, they tried to
voodoo,
trick the
and
Rays.
That was a mistake.
They tried to script the
I
game
would
too
hope they
much.
just give Nestor a start and don't get too cute with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's when we talk about playoffs and guys that have, we're somewhat talking heads now, and Nestor has done it, where that would be the guy I'd most like in that role. Now, should that remove him from a playoff start? I don't know. And that's where that stuff gets tricky.
Who did they have on the roster for the ALDS against the Twins?
ALDS,
They had 2 catchers. They had 7 infielders. They're including Edwin there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 outfielders. So that's 11, 13 bats. So same thing, 13 bats. They had 3 starting pitchers: Paxton, Sevy, Tanaka. That's all they brought for the DS. Just 3 starting pitchers.
Right.
And then they had 9 relief pitchers. They have an extra person this year.
Right.
So they can go 9-4.
2019, they didn't play the wild card game, so they didn't. They can't do just 3 starters because Cole.
Interesting.
I guess you can.
All right, let's do 2018 ALDS roster then.
I guess you can, but I feel like wild card roster.
That's where I wonder.
They have the personnel to have more than that. They didn't have starters beyond them really.
And we're gonna have off days this year.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do
Back
last
to
year.
off days.
So 2 catchers in 18. Let's see, how many starting pitchers? They brought Tanaka, Severino, Sabathia. Lynn went to the pen, and Happ.
Game 1 starter, J-Hap.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 position players both times. So it's going to be 13 position players.
Yeah.
I think we have that
That
pretty
makes sense.
locked up. I mean, Velasquez for Odor, maybe. So
That's
they
the
I
had.
don't think it would
Convo.
be both.
It's the only combo.
We have the number right.
So they had 7 relievers plus Lynn. So 8-4. I don't know. We'll see. It's very tricky with all those pitchers.
Let's get there and figure it out.
Yeah. I'd rather King over Kluber and Tyone. We got to see what they have. Because right now, Sevy and King seem much more valuable than Kluber and Tyone.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, the Yankees clearly believe in Kluber. He has a ton of playoff experience, 9 playoff starts. His year overall is good. I know you can look at it different ways, the teams he plays
Missed
and
on
all
the
that.
time. All that.
Like if Kluber drops dick against Toronto today, or Wednesday, or Thursday, excuse me, like there's going to be a lot of Wolf of Wall Street chest thumping in the Yankees front office. So if he gets knocked around, I could see him getting left off the DS roster. And I think that's the crazy game we're in right now.
Yeah, that's where I get really curious. I don't think they'll leave him off out of pride. And then who gets fucked because of that? And then what do they get too cute about because of that?
And it just makes the most sense to still, because I think that you can't have him on the roster and not use him. And you have to use him as a starter. And I think they'd yank him at the first sign of trouble and go to Nestor for several innings.
That can be even more embarrassing if they yank him, if they do what they did to Davey.
I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do
You
that.
It's
can't
like
do it
my
that
scariest
way.
thing. That plan has so much backfire ability.
It's like my pop said something in the chat.
What do you say? Can't see it.
Can't see it.
Where I can't find it. Oh, Bronxie is Jake's stripper name. Nice.
So
Nice.
All right, we have a Sharp Stats. And it's brought to you by Magic Spoon. Cereal. Growing up, cereal was the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk. And now I don't have to give up cereal anymore because Magic Spoon cereal is guilt-free cereal, and it's the best cereal. And I have a spoon, and it's magical, and it's my Magic Spoon. I got it from Magic Spoon. They sell a magical spoon. I feel like I'm on like the Magic School Bus eating cereal with Miss Frizz. Is that her name?
Frizzle.
Frizzle. It's the best. Magic Spoon cereal has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. You can build your own box. cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle. You got to go to magicspoon.com/Yanks and grab a custom bundle of cereal to try it today. And be sure to use our promo code Yanks at checkout to save $5 off your order. Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Yanks and use code Yanks to save $5 off. If you're not satisfied, they have a 100% guarantee. Just tell them, and they'll refund you.
You signed
no questions
up.
asked. Yeah, I'm a subscription.
When do you
man.
get your spoon? You know?
I have the spoon. You mean when do I get the next order?
When do you get your magic spoon?
I don't know. That's the magic of it. It just shows up.
Whoa.
Probably go chow down on a bunch today just in case I don't get doubly backed up.
Smart.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Sharp Stats. Here we go.
Hey guys, Katie here, the Queen of Stats, back for the final regular season edition of Sharp Stats. And to end the season, I wanted to do it on a positive note. And what I wanted to do was just a quick stat to put into perspective how awesome Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton have been as Yankee teammates this season, just how productive they have been. So we know that they hit a lot of homers, and we know that they have a very high OPS. So they're doing everything. They're slugging, they're getting on base. So currently, as I'm talking right here, it's Monday night. Aaron Judge has 36 homers, and he has an OPS plus. That's adjusted OPS relative to the league, to the year, and to the other teams. He has an OPS plus of 145, so that's 45% better than league average. Giancarlo Stanton has 34 homers and an OPS plus of 139, so 39% better. So I looked at Yankee teammates that had those minimum qualifications. So at least 34 home runs and at least an OPS plus of 139. So Yankee teammates to meet both of those criterias. And the list is short but sweet, I'll tell you guys. So it's been done a few times. The last time it happened was a pair of Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris seasons in 1960 and 61. Before that, it was a Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig in 1937. And before that, it was 5 seasons of Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth from, 1927, 1929, 1930, 1931, 1932. So basically, Judge and Stanton are probably going to go down as two of the most prolific teammates this season in Yankees history. If they can maintain this pace, obviously that OPS plus number can change. The homer number won't change. But anyways, just wanted to end the season on a regular season on a positive note. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys next week. Bye.
That's good. What'd you like the most? All the goodness?
I didn't like Katie's sneaky, cute dagger at the end. I hope I talk to you guys next week. Yeah, me too. Wow. So much, Katie. They're awesome. They're awesome. I mean, the Stanton stuff. Yankee fans love Aaron Judge. He's been going nut job the past couple months, and whenever I could get a moment, I tried to remind the people Stanton was actually doing kind of the same stuff during. But yeah, man, I think the baseball numbers, there's a couple people going nut job this year. I mean, Vladito, Shohei. Outside of that, like 900 OPS this year is like a special season. And Stanton and Judgy are all around it. This has kind of been what Yankee fans were dreaming of. Like this, I think they've combined for 70 something homers? Was it 72?
I had the page up, that would help, but then
Stan's got 34. Judgy has 36. 34, so 70 on the nose. That's a big number. So, and they're just scary in the middle of the lineup.
How many players do you think? Ooh, let's see. I got to change. What's to do? Qualified for batting title? Yeah. How many players do you think have a over 900, oh my God, OPS this season that are qualified for a batting title? Qualified for a batting title is like pretty. So it's a lot these days. I think in coming years they might change that. Yeah, they're going to lower it.
I'm
just going to do.
I
I'm
guess-
going to do 100 games played. Is that better?
I like that.
Didn't change much.
So 100 games played, 900 OPS.
900 OPS or higher.
Because, by the way, Stanton still not there. 34 home runs. He's at 879. So I'd guess like 5 in the AL or both leagues.
Oh, I have both leagues.
Then 11.
16.
Okay.
Wonder if I did just the AL, what it would change to. I could probably just look at their names and figure it out. But that's still not a lot.
No.
In the AL, it's 7. Vladdy, Shohei, Olsen, Judge, J-Ram, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Tucker.
I mean, those first 4, Shohei, Vlad, Olsen, Judge, I think those are going to be your top 4 MVP vote getters.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Judge is having a very good season. Is that lower than usual?
I think so, man. I know to start the year when the sticky stuff was still out, it felt like Vlad and Shohei were the only dudes hitting.
So there were 13 that finished in 2019. And now we're at, so we cut it in half, basically?
In the AL.
In the AL.
Wow. I thought you were going back to the league.
No, so we cut it in half, the amount of guys.
More. 13-6.
Oh, in 2018, there were only 5 in the AL.
Pretty wild.
You look at 900 OPS and you don't think it's
Goosebumps.
that selective. That good. But a 900 OPS is very good.
Incredible.
There were only 9. From 2017, Judge's career, to 2021, how many players do you think have had it? Oh, wait. That's a lot. That's odd. That opened it up. Combined seasons opened it up by a ton. I wouldn't have guessed that's how that would work.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough sport.
42.
Wow.
42 players from 2017 to 2021 have an OPS over 900. Oh, no. This is counting individual seasons.
Aha.
Thank God. I was like, what the fuck? That makes no sense.
And by the way, I mean OPS, that is a newer stat, but it's pretty basic concept, on base percentage plus slugging. And where it, Salvador Perez this year, 46 homers, 117 RBI. He has an 855 OPS. Stanton has a higher OPS than Salvador Perez, who's got 46 homers this year. So, it's a pretty good unit of measurement. I'm a big fan of OPS, and, well, Salvy's doing it from the catcher point, but strictly hitting-wise, it would tell you Stan's having a better year at the dish.
He's good. 17, 18. I'm doing something stupid.
Give me a little math.
Well, I'm trying to find out because there's the 60-game season. So it's 708 games from 17 to 21. 708. How many do you think is like you should do? Like you played 75% of those to be qualified for what we're looking at in that stretch?
7. I got lost in the math, I'll be honest. Not in a joking way.
From 2017 to 2021,
Yes.
there's 708 games. Now there's 6 left, so we're at 700.
Okay. We'll call it 700.
What would you do as the qualifier? Like you played in 75% of those?
Yeah, like 500. 5 out of 7.
Missed 200 games?
It's a lot, but that's kind of like normal platoon and 1 injury at this point.
All right, so
Over 4 years.
So from 20,
Still a lot of games.
yeah, there's only 4 players that have an OPS above 900 that played in 500 games in that span in the AL.
Mike Trout. Has he even played in enough?
No, he hasn't
been
played
hurt,
it. He hasn't played it enough.
I know Judge has played more games over the last X years than he has. It's the stat that goes around.
Judge is on one of the 4.
Like that.
Judge has a 950. He actually has the highest.
Whoops.
So 2017 to 2021, minimum 500 games. Judge has the highest OPS at 950.
It's like Bregman? I don't even know.
Nelson and Cruz, J-Ram, and JD Martinez.
Feels like a good group.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Judge is good. Judge is really good.
Talkin Yanks and the Turtle was on MLB Network.
Trout has played 477 games. So if you drop it down to 400, 6 guys have done it. You include Betts from his time in the AL, and you include Trout. But Judge still has the second best OPS. Dude, Judge is so good. I feel like Yankee fans hate on him for specific reasons, and obviously other parties hate on him because they're not Yankees fans. I think we need to constantly remind the world how good Judge is.
Yeah, you've been on a Judge warpath recently.
I
Judge is one of the
am
very best
so
players.
tired of anyone saying he's not non-clutch.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I will snap. He's literally, I might go to my Twitter from a couple days ago. He's amazing in clutch situations. There's still people that watch Yankees games day in, day out, watch every single game, and will just casually say, he never comes up when it counts. And it's like, that's all he's done this season. It's all he's done. The numbers are incredible.
Especially the second half. I think there were a couple numbers in the first half.
The only number is
but the second
walk-off.
half has gone.
Even in the first half, he leads the league in all of it.
Right.
Like I'm sure he's had stretches where just anecdotally it feels like he didn't do whatever. Because you always remember the times it didn't happen.
Tough sport.
He's been so good.
He's been good in pretty much every facet.
Yeah.
And the way we just butter knifed him in the past 4 years, been the best, arguably.
His name is Mookie Betts.
His name is
I said,
Mookie
Poppy, can he play baseball? He said, man, can he play baseball?
Thought about it. I pulled it up, and I needed to play it
How'd
once
they
you pull it up.
trade him? It's insane.
Mookie Betts. Did you hear they asked Judge about re-signing the Yankees in contract discussions and stuff? And then they tried to make a very clickbait article out of it. And it was Judge was like, that's their job. I got people. I'm just playing baseball right now. It's like nothing.
A year away from all that. Has agents for a reason.
All right. We got pregame show later on today. No guests in the lineup today since we did a bunch of other stuff. And
we just guessed the lineup for the playoffs.
Yeah. And Ryu's pitching. So at this point, I think Voigt's just on the bench.
Maybe with turf stuff, they don't want Guardy out there 3 days. Just had an off day. If they don't start Voigt today. Hilarious.
I think he's just I think they're just going to get him pinch hit at bats and get him comfortable in that
Gotta
role.
get good at this.
Yeah. At this point, they've kind of committed to that. So there you go. We'll see you later for the pregame show. Thank you guys very much. And go Yanks. And tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.